I think you're really good at this, is creating structure in chaos. Just generally, we as post-secondary athletes, and it's just university students in general have a really chaotic schedule, and the timetables are really strange and all over the place. Some days you have 6 classes, some days you have no classes, and you consistently have practice. And like you said earlier, you're traveling Thursday to Sunday and you don't really have weekends, and it can be really tolling on mental health. And I think that you're someone that's really good at developing a schedule and following through with that. Obviously, you're very highly achieved in academia. You have a multiple academic All-Canadian. You're published. You're an absolute rock star, killing it in every aspect. So how do you, like, what are your foundations for achieving that success?
Yeah, very cool question. Thank you also for hyping me up. I feel like that made me sound more together than I am.
Do it for a soundbite.
Yeah, I guess to me, I don't really understand how people do it without having a really strict schedule. Like I have a couple of friends who just don't write down assignments or don't write down when they have quizzes or when we're traveling, which seems insane to me, but really impressive that they're able to do that. But yeah, I guess for me, I just really don't like the feeling of procrastination, and I don't like the feeling of having to submit something or going to practice or going to a game feeling like I haven't done everything I can to be prepared for that. So I guess just it's kind of just my way of avoiding that feeling is like having an agenda for everything I do. I have like a huge calendar of assignments that I need to do. I have like a schedule in my room of when my classes are, when practices are. And I think in order to be successful with all the stuff that you said, like you mentioned, like practice and work and volleyball and school, whatever it is, I think that's really important. I think it also just helps your mental health too, in the sense that for me, if I don't have something written down, I'm always going to kind of be worried about like, oh, I'm forgetting about it, or feeling guilty that you're spending time with your friends as opposed to doing schoolwork. But I think if you really, as much as you can, schedule it out, that I think every aspect of your life you're kind of allowed to enjoy more. Like I know that like when I'm watching The Bachelor with my friends or whatever it is that we're doing, like I've done everything I needed to do that day, so I can just relax and my mind is shut off, and I'm just allowed to enjoy that time. Whereas I think if there's no real structure in what you're doing, you're always kind of like maybe doing school here a little bit, but it's not like you're really your best work. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I think it allows you to do your best work while also still like scheduling in stuff that you enjoy to make sure you don't get burnt out. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really cool place that a lot of people don't really find that area in their schedule where they just schedule things that they don't really want to do, but they have to do, rather than making a schedule that allows for you to achieve the things that you have to get done while also finding time for those areas that you're passionate about, like hanging out with friends and doing your hobbies. And so I think that's a really smart way to do it. I also really like how you have a visual for something, like having a whiteboard in your room or something you can see consistently. I found that really helps me, is having something that I can wake up and see every day and go, okay, this is what I'm striving toward. This is how I'm going to get there.
Totally. And in terms, I guess you could have like I have big and long-term goals. Like my roommates got me like this big sticker that says like future doctor, which is obviously a bit extra, but I think it's cool just like kind of have a reminder of that, of while you are doing the day-to-day stuff and what you're hoping that builds to, while then also having like your small goals of like, okay, you have an assignment due, or you have work this weekend, or you have an appointment, or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The guy that I did a podcast with 2 or 3 weeks ago now, him and I talked about that, because that's how the dopamine pathway is structured, is so that you're getting more of a hit of dopamine before you actually get the thing that you're trying to achieve. So sure. While you're driving home thinking about getting your donut and eating the donut, your dopamine is high. And then once you get it, it's actually not as much as it was before. So